Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. 'Tis I, Mike Martins, bringing you another very important article, guys. I need to bring this out. This was sent to me by our man, Steve the Plumber, who is boots on the ground in the GTA Toronto area. And he's going to be on the show on trends in the housing market this Wednesday, so we look forward to hearing what he's got to say. He had something to say last week. He couldn't make it on the show because he's been severely swamped. But this Wednesday, he promised us he will come on the show to give us a little bit of insight on what is happening on the ground in the Toronto area. And hopefully we can get a couple of people in from Sydney and Melbourne to weigh in on the show. Maybe we could get Steve Martin, on the show too. So this is a really, really, really important one. Consumer insolvencies in Canada climb to the highest in 8 years. I'm not going to woo this one because this is really bad because a lot of people took in more than what they could afford to pay back. Luckily, hand to God, I owe no debt. I've always done it the layaway system. I've always laid away. Instead of paying somebody buy now, pay later, where you pay the interest on the money you're borrowing, I would rather save the money, and it's faster to save the money because when you pay later, guess what? You're paying a lot of VIG or underjuice or interest or whatever you want to call it. This is from Bloomberg News today. Canadian consumers filed the most insolvencies in 8 years in March. An indication record debt level may be catching up with the increasing number of households. The Office of Superintendent of Bankruptcies reported consumer insolvencies rose 5.7% to 11,963 in March, compared with 11,315 in the same month a year earlier. It was the highest volume of filings in any month since March 2011. After declining for years, insolvencies are beginning to tick up again, stoking concern. The country's record level household debt is $2.17 trillion at the end of the first quarter is unsustainable. And I brought this up many times in the show. Even if we brought rates to zero, a big donut, we still couldn't make it. Even if we brought rates down to 0%, we have no way of making it. We have no way of making ends meet because that's how bad it is right now. Okay. Where was it? Okay. After declining for years, insolvencies tick up again, stoking concerns in the country's record level household debt. $2.17 trillion at the end of the first quarter is unsustainable. In volume terms, however, insolvencies are still well below the peak of more than 15,000 reached in September 2009 in the aftermath of the financial crisis. Will we reach that $15,000 mark from 2009? That's the question. But you know what, guys? The dangerous part of having multiple, like in this page here, multiple credit cards like this, is a lot of people don't understand. They're like, oh, Mike, my Capital One, I'm getting this, and then my travel visa, I'm getting this, and I'm getting this, and I'm getting this. Well, people are forgetting there's a blended interest rate. A blended interest rate that goes the way you take all the interest rates you're paying, and you end up paying a blended interest rate, and it is phenomenal what you pay. You wouldn't fathom how much you're paying once you look at the blended interest rate that you're paying and taking it together. It is phenomenal. The worst one of all of them, I think would be auto loans. If you took a 4-year auto loan, you're not that bad. But if you took a 5-year auto loan, do the math and see what the difference is between 4 and 5 years. It's a $10 or $20 a month difference. So you're paying 1 year of auto loans for free. That's how they get you on how they play the interest rates and stretching you out as long as possible, giving you the lowest payment. But in reality, it's not the lowest payment because you're paying it an extra year. I'm not giving financial advice. I just want you to focus on what you're doing and focus on how you're signing your deals. Because you know what? There's always that fine print that a lot of people neglect to look at or read, right? Insolvencies include bankruptcies and proposals. Consumer bankruptcies fell 3.9% in March from a year earlier, while proposals where the debitor agrees with creditors to pay a certain proportion of what's owed climbed 12.9%, the OSB reported. On a regional basis, the rate of increases was highest in Manitoba, where the consumer insolvencies jumped 29% to 276. Alberta saw a 9% increase of 1,430, while filings in Ontario advanced 7.3% to 3,831. Key numbers. Consumer insolvencies increased by 16.1% in March from prior month. Consumer bankruptcies fell 3.9% on year, while consumer proposals were up 12.9%. That's the key right there. Year over year, consumer insolvencies rose 9% in Alberta, 7.3% in Ontario, 5.6% in BC, and 1.8% in Quebec. For the 12-month period ending in March, Canadian consumer insolvencies rose 4.3%. Guys, you guys really need, because I remember looking at, when I was working in the finance department and looking at some of these credit bureaus, and it's like, wait a minute, this guy doesn't need more credit. This guy needs credit counseling. And that's what's happening. A lot of these companies want to throw money at you, hoping that you could jump on just throw it on the bandwagon. I'll pay it off as I work. I'm just going to have to work it off. And no. Do it the backwards way. Work, save, then buy. Because now what you're paying in 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 credit cards, lines of credit, and auto loans, you take that blended interest rate, you would have bought the stuff that you bought with the credit cards a lot faster without paying all that interest that bogs you down. And the cost of servicing these loans would be zero because you wouldn't have these credit cards and lines of credit and auto loans because you did it on layaway. Everybody wants everything in a rush. Everybody wants everything they want to compete. And we're a throwaway society. So a year now, you need a TV every year now. The new LED, the new 4K, the new 3D TV. So it's almost like a rat race of a throwaway society we're living in right now. Anyways, guys, I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. I would like to know what is happening here. Why is this happening? And don't forget to tune in Wednesday night for Trends in the Housing Market live. Add me on Skype, and we will have this discussion, and we will go full tooth and nail, we'll go right to the wall, full stop, on cracking this debt insolvency, housing issue, affordability issues, interprovincial migration issues. And if you want to support this transmission, go ahead and share one of my videos. Thanks for watching.